Welcome to the neighborhood.
Spring is totally here, home buyers. The sun came out for us.
This one has a lot to offer.
This is Emily Cressey with Home Smart Real Estate. So yes, Seattle is a super fun place to live. And yes, it does have a few dark secrets that I'm going to be sharing with you on this channel. I have lived here all my life and I know it inside and out, but there are still areas that I am not even familiar with. So if you live here and you have a different idea than me and you think I'm wrong, or you just want to share your experience, put it in the comments. It's good. I won't bite. I'll probably holler back and let you know what I think. I really appreciate the participation. So if you are a local, tell me what you think, how you like your part of town. For those who aren't, if you're moving to this area, make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell so that you get our updates. This channel is specifically focused on giving people who are relocating to the Seattle area information about the different parts of town, the different flavors of the neighborhoods, what it's like to buy or rent here, all the pros and cons, all that good stuff. So we're going to be making it fun and we're going to be presenting a lot of information. If you don't want to miss it because you're in that process of deciding if Seattle is the right place for you to move or where in Seattle you want to live, make sure you subscribe and watch our other videos. So with no further ado, let's get started. Okay, are you thinking about moving to Seattle? I just did an interview with Clara down in LA about moving to Seattle from California. And I had so many notes and so many things that I wanted to share with her that we just ran out of time, that I wanted to make a video for you about moving to Seattle. So whether you're coming from California or somewhere else, this is a great place to come. And you might be surprised. I looked it up. I'm a Seattle native. I grew up here. But only 30% of us in the region are like born and raised in Seattle. We've got 50% of our population coming from out of state and 20% of our population coming from out of the country. So this is a very diverse area. There are a lot of different types of people here, and a lot of people come for the wonderful job market. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of things that are interesting and great about the area, and then we'll dive into specifics. My name, by the way, is Emily Cressey. I'm a real estate broker here with Home Smart Real Estate, and I love this place. I have, it's a joke, right? We have the web toes and the moss on our back because all the rain. We're kind of like out there like the Sasquatch Yeti enjoying the woods. It's not quite that bad in Seattle. If you go out to the peninsula, you'll probably find a lot more moss backs out there. But in any event, a couple highlights about living here. Washington State is one of the 7 states in the country that has no income tax. So if you're a high wage earner, this is excellent. You will have no state taxes to pay on that income. You only have your federal tax return to file. However, to make up for it, we do have a sales tax. It's a 10% sales tax on things like restaurant food and clothing and retail purchases and that type of thing. So the key is to be a high earner and the low spender. Be frugal. You'll become the millionaire next door faster here in Seattle. A couple of other things to note. This is a very live and let live type of area. We're on the West Coast. We're laid back. We're casual. We're in kind of this maritime climate, so it's damp a lot. We're low maintenance. We wear corduroys and jeans. We wear raincoats. We wear, outdoor sandals, that type of thing. Not a ton of makeup, not lower maintenance type of folks here. And as far as activities, our city is very constrained by water. We have the Puget Sound on one side, we have Lake Washington on the other side, and we have forests all over the place. So we are great about getting outside, going hiking, biking, getting in the water, kayaking, boating, fishing, skiing in the winter. We have a lot of mountains as well. So it's just a beautiful area with a lot of natural resources, a lot of wonderful views of mountains and water and trees. As far as development, this is a pretty developed area. Seattle, if you look at the metrics, the population of the city of Seattle is only about 700,000, but we've got so many other little cities and municipalities. We've got Bellevue across Lake Washington on the east side. That's got 100,000 people. We have Tacoma, we have Everett, we have naval stations, we have universities. We have overall in the greater Seattle area about 4 million people. And because of our constraints with all the water, it's fairly high density. We have condos, urban housing, suburban housing. We don't really get much into acreage. Most lots are a quarter acre or less, and some even have very steep hills on them, or wetlands, or those types of things. There are just some physical constraints on buildings. So we don't tend to have sprawling horse properties or anything until you get probably at least an hour outside of the downtown areas. So like I said, I grew up here. I went to the excellently rated Shoreline Public Schools, and then I switched over to Lakeside, which is a somewhat elite, fancy high school, which is a private high school. And then I went to North Carolina for college. And what I found in North Carolina, while I was studying economics out there, I would go to church and I would meet new people, and it's much more formal. So people are wearing suits, they're wearing dockers and polos, they're doing their hair up every day, they're wearing a lot of makeup. And there's more outreach from other people, right? So they're going to come over and they're going to greet you when you move in. They're going to bring you cookies. They're going to invite you to the PTA. There's a lot more, hello, we're here to meet you. We're here to help you settle in. We're here to help you get inculcated with our society. Seattle is a much more hands-off type of area. They actually have written articles about something called the Seattle Freeze, which is not a weather thing, it's a personality thing. So I guess culturally, a lot of people are more keep to yourself. So if you want to get to know the area or get to know the people in the area, it's important that you find a way to integrate with some groups, whether it be a church group, a sports league that you join, something with people at work, some meetups. You got to make a little bit of an effort to get out and meet people and get ingrained with the culture, because otherwise you're going to end up reading a book, looking out at the rain, drinking a coffee with a cat on your lap, right? So you got to, no, I'm not saying that's me every weekend. Okay, so don't end up like me, get a dog, make sure you go outside. So making an effort, because, while there are certainly plenty of friendly people here, not everyone is. And so for some people who are used to something different, it can seem a little bit standoffish. Okay, so how about all that rain we get in Seattle? You have heard that Seattle is horrible and it rains all the time, right? Well, I'm looking outside now. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's probably 65 and warming, and we're in May. So while it's not always rainy, and there's really only 38 inches of rain, which is not a huge amount of rain, but I'm going to lay it out. What's the weather like? And I will tell you, our best kept secret is our summers. The summer weather makes up for everything else. We have a dry Mediterranean climate in the summer. The temperatures range high between 70 and 80 degrees. It's very comfortable. We keep our windows open at night. We don't need air conditioning. We just cool the house with our windows. And it's lovely. It's dry, it's warm, it's lovely. There are no bugs. Some people, if you're like a mosquito attractor person, you will probably get some mosquito bites if you're out at dusk. But my sister is that type of person. I am not that type of person. I never use any bug spray. I go out all the time. I never get any bug bites. There are no flies. It's very nice from that perspective. There are occasional spiders in the house, but there's no poisonous spiders, there's no poisonous snakes. So it's great in the summer. The other 9 months of the year, I would say, are fairly similar. We tend to get a lot of overcast. That's really our big problem, is the overcast, cloudy skies that we sometimes get. And it will rain, but it's not like a heavy drenching rain. I never carry an umbrella. I will often wear a raincoat. And if it really starts to rain, I'll put on my hood. But rarely do I need to do that. And it's lovely. So cold temperatures in the winter, the daytime temps might be like 40-ish, 40 to 50. So it's not very cold here either. There's no season where it's too cold or too hot to go outside. The big deal in Seattle in the winter is when it snows. It's very exciting. We'll get maybe 2 to 6 inches of snow once or twice a year. And everything shuts down. There's no school. There's no work. You can't drive it. It's milk and eggs at the grocery store. I hope you stocked up. And I like to make fun of people. My dad was from Milwaukee. He's like, this isn't snow. We got real snow back east, right? So The problem is that we have all of these hills. So we have a lot of hills which make it harder, more challenging, more dangerous to drive through snow and ice. We also have this fairly warm climate. So it might snow, it's like 30 degrees and it snows and the snow sticks, and then it raises up in the day to 33 degrees and the snow starts to melt, and then it freezes again at night, 30 degrees. So we have black ice, and that can be a little bit perilous in the days following a snow. So for the most part, everybody panics and stays home, and it's kind of a get out of jail free card when it snows. But if you need to go somewhere, you can. Just don't tell my boss, right? You can go somewhere if you need to. Some people, if they have a steep driveway, will park lower down, like they'll park on the flat area or they'll park on the main road.